I don't know. I mean, as far as maps.
Okay, so here we go. Game 3 of possibly 5 in the best of 5. The grand finals of the July monthly Rumble tournament.
So we were talking about this map a little bit before. I think in reference to the Plague Champion, one of the things we said that it's relatively small and a pretty easy run to your opponent's natural power farm, and it can be relatively easy to get a bash off, especially if you have a flamer unit.
Yeah, exactly. And notice that Riku is the one who's playing Space Marines, so he's got the more natural access to flamers in the sense that, especially Toilailee, he just makes it abundantly clear he thinks that going for a flamer is a downgrade, and I can see why. It doesn't really scale that well. It makes him very easy to get tied up in melee. So,
or maybe he could get double flamers in the sniper rifle upgrade. I've seen people do that, so you can have decent range on the flamers.
yeah,
Probably wouldn't work out against Space Marines. Possibly not even viable in general, but
I think Toilailee would rather cringe in his sleep. So Riku being very aggressive, just forcing melee with these attacks, which is, you know, logical play considering he'll have the heal up and ready, and he drops it now.
And Toilailee has also not even started the Sentinel Stomp. Oh, now he has, just now. And I mean, these attacks so far haven't even taken much damage, so they're being very, very dominant. And there we go. There's that stomp. Toilailee nearly losing a guardsman squad. Actually, it'll be fine. But certainly going to bleed a little bit from that, although the amount of members that he's going to reinforce on that squad is actually roughly the cost of a single tactical marine squad. So if Toilailee can get one tac model down, that can kind of equal the losses that Toilailee just took himself.
So Riku's made a pretty good start. Like, he'll have these tactical marines back online, and like the Sentinel not hunting the scouts. I mean, yes, he's gonna go hunt, actually decap this natural wreck. I mean, oh yeah, okay, so the Lord General forces off the scouts before that, so that's absolutely fine. But notice, like, another part of the advantage of going Apothecary is, like, look, he hasn't, like, he dropped the heal, but yeah, he did drop the heal. But at the same time, like, these attacks are back out in the field and stopping the Sentinel from decapping his natural wreck. So fast Devastator out for Dark Riku, skipping the second scout for now. Possibly second scout is still in his mind, but I think he's going to be thinking about ASM.
I think he might actually be going for double Devastators. I've definitely seen him do that before against Toilailee.
At the same time, though, that was before, like, spotters really came to be understood as a unit. So
and now Guildmaster Wigglytuff is even getting a spotter.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that Riku, once he sees that spotter, he's going to be thinking ASM primarily, which is fine, because in my opinion, like, in this matchup, the real unit that gives ASM problems are Catechins, and not really, I mean, maybe not in Tier 1. In Tier 2, your Plasma Guardsmen are far more really cost-effective counters. Dark Riku drops the attack model. I mean, he's not complaining about it, at least. No, he is. Son.
He's saying son.
Jesus, man. Like, how can I lose a tac model already? Like, how freaking lucky are you?
And he gets them blasted out of cover. And those tac models, they cost 75 requisition. To reinforce 8 guardsmen right now with the sergeant is 76.
So look at that. Look at that smoke, just completely denying this heavy bolter dev any chance of, like, stopping this Sentinel.
And you were right. You pretty much called it much better than I did. He's going for that Assault Space Marine, and I kind of saw that as he was saving resources in excess of what it would cost to put another Devastator on the field.
I'm a little bit surprised by Toilailee being so frontal with this multi-laser turret. I think I would have gone, like, from this angle, like from, you know, the other entrance to the heavy to the gen farm. But I mean, this could work fine. I don't know if he's gone for the reclaim already, but it'd be reasonable to. Oh, he has reclaimed it now. So that's a waste of 75 rec and 5 power.
Oh, and while we were not watching, I believe a guardsman squad wiped out a scout squad, and Riku commenting on it. I think actually just not even paying attention to that fight, like focusing on this fight on the bottom, and I think the scouts just got shot up by flashlights.
Oh, he does go for the Catechins. Now, this I think is a much more cost-effective build for Toilailee than it is for Dark Riku.
Toilailee is cutting it very close with some of these, with his guardsmen. He's definitely getting it close to losing the entire squad on some occasions.
He just does not care. But like looking at it though, like Toilailee has the squad advantage and you'll have the map control advantage. I don't see how Riku can be the one with the map control advantage after this, but at the same time, like Riku's the one who's going to be forcing home the gem bash. He's got the Sanguine Chainsword and he's getting vials from the Apothecary, so he's going to have like a lot of power to be able to pin them in position. Purification Vial is going to be upgraded right here. Stop.
Oh, right here?
He's going to drop that. He must drop that. He does drop it.
Oh my god, so let's see what this happens. Right on top of the Catechans. Catechans get a heal.
That, still though, like... Wow.
I mean, he still effectively won the engagement right in front of Toilailee's base, basically, and got that full power bash off.
I just really want to point out, though, like, great reactions from Toilailee to, like, stop any Catechins really getting, like, to the point where they were dropping, right? Just good play.
And I noticed in that engagement that it actually seemed like Toilailee was focusing almost everything on the Tactical Marines. And if you look at his Tactical Marines, they are in base right now with only one model. Against it, that's for an Apothecary player, losing 2 models on his Tactical Marine squad.
So Riku just having to concede ground because he's just not ready to take a fight at all. Like in retreat, and like he's planning to make a defense here, but this heavy bolted dev has got to come back online before that happens. Again, though, I don't think that Toilailee needs to be so brute force about this, because that's kind of what I did against him in a kind of a bit of a lulzy game I had with him, and we were just back and forth in this sort of area trying to gem bash in a really direct fashion. If you do it from the sides, it's much harder to contest that gem bash.
We have an Apothecary a bit out of position and just quite low on health. I think the Apothecary, can he get out of there? Yeah, I think he will.
No, he shouldn't be able to.
Oh, I was wrong.
Like, it was good, reliable to get the extra damage required, but...
I think not only did it get extra damage, I think it even maybe saved his artillery spotter squad from the Assault Space Marines going after them.
Good play. So the Flamer and Heavy Bolter Dev combo is going to push Toilailee off the field altogether, but this is what I've always said about Imperial Guard. Like, in Tier 1, they have amazing map control compared to Space Marines, especially when Riku drops his scouts, like his primary source of capping. Like, the map is very blue, and it's not a surprise whatsoever considering the squad count and the scout loss.
And he's choosing not even to buy a second scout. He just made that choice pretty early on.
Yeah, it's a nice play by Toil. Like, just was never, like, the attack flamer was never going to do that well against the Sentinel, but when he moved up to attack ground the guardsman, like, just nothing, just like couldn't get out range of the stump. So anyway, back to the other side of the map. Dark Riku spreading out now, like just getting flanked in the center is not really a good engagement. Drops another tag model. He cannot be happy about that.
Yeah, I mean the thing is he's ironically bleeding a lot from those tacks. He's lost at least 4 tack models that I've counted from those tacks. So he's, despite being, go ahead.
Sorry, the problem is, like, right now, his squads have to do too many jobs. He needs to stay, he has to have field presence, and he has to cap. And that means he's putting more pressure on his units to get more stuff done, so they can't really go back to base that easily, right? Because they got to be on the field doing stuff. Grenade is thrown, does quite a lot of, like, guardsman damage.
Yeah, those guardsmen at the bottom.
Yeah.
We have Assault Space Marines straight up fighting the Catachan Devils.
Well, ASM lose that pretty handily, so they take a model and they jump out. So this artillery spot he used is giving, I mean, it's a lot of micro for Toil, no doubt, but at the same time, I think it's making more work for Riku. He's got 2 ranged squads that can get hit by the same projectile, like the same mortar shot that these can drop in. Toil doing the Ninja Gem Bash on with just the solo Catechin, but they do pretty decently the solo Gem Basher.
I mean, I think just they have quite a bit of damage coming out of their ranged fire. And both players went to Tier 2. They actually floated resources a little bit before starting Tier 2. So they're a little later than they could be.
at the same time, this is a pretty intense game in terms of like, I'm not surprised. Like, oh, and the Catechins had a med pack ready, so down goes one ASM. ASM Sergeant gonna be coming soon, but if he's not careful, yeah, he jumps out. But if he's not careful, he would have dropped 3 models of ASM. Like, timely retreat. So, like, good meleeing with the scouts and like really maximizing the damage of the flamer. There's gonna be no like antics that Toil can use to deal with that. So, Apothecary heal is gonna be ready for another time for these tack flamers, but Riku has finally like got a foothold again in this map control, and he needs to maintain that. But only then do I feel like he could blob up and get a big fight where he's going to be able to maximize that purification balance. And honestly, that window is like getting smaller and smaller because as that Chimera comes along, Toil's never gonna let you hit a purification balance unless you know if he has a Chimera. There's just no way. Oh my god, this is
a melt-a-bomb on the Sentinel. I think the Sentinel just might go down here. Very little health, but the Assault Space Marines are in retreat. I don't know if that was worth it.
He only drops a model though. I mean, it's not awful, but here comes the Ogrins. Something to really cement his melee prowess over. Because in the end, like really, out of what Space Marine have, with his kind of composition, etc., the best shot I think he's got is going for a plasma gun on these tacks, and plasma gun on tacks here, it's not going to be strong against much else. And the tacks, the Apothecary is probably going to go down.
And as much as he's been bleeding from his tacks, he's also been doing well with them in terms of getting kills. They're already at level 3 with a flamer, and doing pretty good area of effect damage to the guardsmen.
So these heavy bolter devs have to retreat right now. But you know, like Riku just delaying the game because he's still got this 2 cap going on. So, and he's got all the map control. But still, I'm not sure what Riku gets right now because really kind of what the ideal unit against, like in terms of damaging IG, I find is like going for a plasma devastator, but. I don't think with this kind of power balance he's really going to be thinking Devastator. He's like the other really good unit against Imperial Guard is going for like an Assault Cannon Dreadnought, I think, but that's a very expensive unit, and I don't think you can hold out long enough to make that worth it because you got the Sergeant coming for the Lord General, so you're going to eventually have med pack everything. And it's really hard to go with. So here come the Ogrins, knocking everything back. Tacticals instantly retreat.
And we have a creeping barrage.
Yeah, this is gonna really hurt. Yes. I don't know what Riku's think. I mean, he really wants the Sentinel.
Yeah, he's been going hard for that Sentinel.
I think he could have meleeed that like after he threw the Sentinel. Through the mouth.
Might still be able to take out the Apothecary. Little interesting fact about those Ogrins is that they put about as much range DPS as a vanilla CSM member with those whatever guns those things are, and I think they even have 100% fire on the move.
Yeah, it's very damaging anyway. But Riku going for the Librarian, going for the Tome of Time, so he can use Veil of Time to dodge all this annoying artillery spotter business, and also use the Veil of Time suppression to tear into the Ogrins. But here comes a flank on these.
Oh no! That's really, really bad. Because that could be a wipe on the Devastator.
If he doesn't drop a heal, they're gonna go down, I think.
He didn't even really fully get the disruption from those ASM. They kind of missed, and there goes the Devastator.
Yeah, I think he needs that squad.
I think he was going a bit for the disruption with the ASM, but it was just a little bit off.
Drops the ASM Sergeant as well, that's going to hurt. Drops the Purification Balls in their retreat path, they're going to get absolutely fine. But notice though, it does a lot of damage despite that, and might still have gone down if he had like been a little bit slow on that reaction.
And Riku is getting another Devastator squad, probably realizes he probably won't even be able to deal with the Ogrins without it.
Yeah, but it's a whole idea behind this plan to get this Librarian. Is like the heavy bolter dev is what justifies the Librarian choice. Like Smite, Assault Squad, and Combat Stims is not enough anymore. It used to be the case that was like your wombo combo you did against Ogrins, and that's what like counters them. but it's no longer enough, and you really need the Veil of Time suppression. And I think that's really a blunder, because like he just dropped a key unit. And the Sentinel's fine. Yep. I don't see the Sentinel going down. Honestly.
He's trying so hard for it, and a grenade seemed to mostly miss.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, like he's got a bit of a problem right now, because like Toilailee's now again on the ascendancy in terms of map control. Yet right now, again, he's out squatted. I would argue he's outgunned, and doesn't manage to dodge this projectile, but uses the Veil of Time. Yes, excellent.
But we have one Guardsman squad coming very close to dying. I think with that 150 health Commissar, they're going to be fine, though. That was a close, and a lot of close calls for Riku in that sense.
I mean, so much action going on right now. Like, Veil of Time still active on these heavy bolted decks, so you'll be able to deal with these Ogrins that way. Librarian already kind of justifying his pick. This is a really good pick from Toilailee, I think, with the Chimera, because like right now, Riku doesn't have enough AV, and he cannot afford to. Oh, look at that grenade! Oh,
it wasn't that good.
As much damage as it could have done. And it was literally bang in the middle of them, by the way.
And then one of the other challenges Riku has is that he's got what he needs to, what he needs to control the Ogrins, but he doesn't really have something to do damage to them. So if either he can disrupt the heavy bolter, or if he can just get them out of the firing arc,
yeah,
they don't actually bleed or can probably stay on the field, especially with the Lord General heal.
I mean, the only way I can see it, like, really him getting enough DPS to deal with the Plas Dev, like an Ogren squad and a Chimera, is to get a Plasma Devastator. But then he's overloaded, so he's forced to really put on a lot of Veil of Times and get them absolutely spot on, because that Spotter's still around, right? If you can wipe the Spotter, then that's a different matter. But no, Riku's going straight for tier 3 and hoping that he can take it on in the tier 3.
Hoping for the Predator, probably.
Yeah, he's not aiming for anything that costs red.
Oh no, we have scouts on top running right past Catachan Devils, right into Ogrins. Riku's eyes must be somewhere else. Riku is, I think he's still going for that Sentinel.
I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't manage to finish off the cap. Yeah, look at that damage on that Vials, man.
Still not exactly wiping a squad, just getting a few models off.
No, but the point is, like, these Space Marines are getting levels, and
that's
if
true.
Anything, that's his only saving grace. Level 3 attacks, nearly level 4. Level 4 Assault Marines, that is his only saving grace. And VP's 136 to 219. Actually, he's got a second saving grace. He's got the VP advantage. Not a very big VP advantage, but it is there nonetheless. Eats the Stomp. I think he could have baited that out and combined it with like a Melta, and could have done pretty well.
And oh no,
has to run away from the Ogrins.
Riku desets. He unsets up, but the Ogrins were actually not outside the firing arc. I actually checked just as they were. Just as they were unsetting up.
Sentinel has double repair. Sentinel's fine. No, it does not fine.
Oh wow!
So
Riku finally takes out the Sentinel.
That could be quite significant. Look at
But did he use his Melta Bomb on the Sentinel?
Sorry.
Did he use his Melta Bomb on the Sentinel?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I completely underestimated overestimated the amount of health the Sentinel had. But I forgot, of course, that the ASM got a level, so should easily get more damage on that Melta gun. So Melta Bomb, easy. But really, Toilailee's going to have to hold the line with what he's got right now, because he's now gotten to the point in the game where his strat is basically reinforce non-stop off this Chimera and force the Space Marine back, and that is quite an expensive strategy.
And he's running out of resources to do that strategy.
Yeah, well, he never runs out. Like it slows down his push, but it never runs out. Like he'll always be able to reinforce. And this is kind of the point where I think something like a plasma cannon would have actually been really, really effective. But he's just going to go for the Predator, which is the safe option. Like nothing that Toil has directly counters that. Especially now he's lost the Sentinel missile launcher, because he didn't have it, but if he had the Sentinel missile launcher, that would have, or he had the choice to acquire it. That pretty much hard counters tanks. It outmaneuvers a tank turret, and you can shoot the rear armor whenever you want, pretty much. So
It's also faster, and it can chase it down if it's trying to get away. I don't know if you noticed, Toilailee has some war gear purchases. He actually has carapace armor to make units around him immune to suppression, and then he also has that sniper rifle.
I really like the carapace armor choice, and obviously the sniper rifle choice. It's pretty standard, isn't it?
I wonder if you can outrange the heavy bolter devastator with that, depending on just how big that buff is. Although it looks like that's not even how he's going to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he has a problem with like that's why he just got the carapace armor, so he didn't have to think about suppression. He doesn't.
Good point.
He can start just in full retreat now. So after this push, Toil should lose his gen really, and he should lose all this map control. Oh, here comes a.
This is another creeping barrage.
Creeping barrage. Riku not responding to it.
I mean, I guess it means he can't chase down Toilailee's stuff, but he's not actually going to be hurting that much from it. He might get. I wonder if the attacks don't even get knocked off the cap, and the ASM don't even take that much damage from it.
I guess Riku was very happy just to settle for what he acquired, because I would have started setting a force here down here to pressure it, just to force Toil not to come out again and force here, because that's not that's how that's not how I like to play it. But what he can take a mass on mass fight, an army on army fight. So this is not a bad choice at all.
We have a heavy turret going down. Unfortunately, I think it's going to start taking shots as it's being put down.
Last cannon shot going in. It's going to be pretty useless, should be. So.
And heavy turret already goes down.
Instantly feeds.
And Angels of Death. I think Riku's
a purification
just might take this game. Toilailee is trying to capture that middle VP, but he doesn't get it off.
Oh wow! I think again. This is a pretty impressive comeback from Riku.
So Toilailee will get the bottom VP, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
Oh my god! Yeah, I don't see this happening simply because.
And there goes the artillery spotters.
Ouch! But even then, Owen's dropping their bonehead and 2 models on top of that. You can hold the line without them. Not with less than 50 VPs. You need your Owens, so this should be game. Yep, and there's a GG call. So Riku redeeming in 1 game. Fuck this matchup.
Oh, we have Grandmaster Wigglytuff not so happy now.